Alright, so welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very well. We're going to jump straight into my Leeds versus Everton preview happening at Elland Road, taking place tomorrow. I left this preview a little bit later than I would have done because I wanted to see what a couple of the other channels were saying about this game. In particular, a lot of what some of the Everton fan channels and YouTubers had to say, and I've got to be honest, I wasn't wholly impressed. A lot of them, I felt, didn't give a fair reflection of Leeds as a team, what we're about, and really the threat that we pose. But what it has done is give me a little bit of a clearer idea of the way the fans think that this game is going to go. And I've got some interesting views about this particular game because I reckon it could be a little bit of a cornerstone point in the season for Leeds. But before we get any further, please remember to subscribe to the channel right down there. We're only 100 subscribers away from hitting that 1,000 mark. That would be amazing if we could get to that mark. It will enable me to continue putting out the content, and it lets me know that you guys like the stuff that I'm doing, which is really nice. Make sure you pop a like on the video as well while you're at it. That would be amazing. And not to worry, as always, we are constantly working on getting things sorted out with other Leeds channels for features, interviews, and all the rest of that cool content. So it is on its way, don't you worry. But Leeds hosting Everton now at Elland Road. Now this is going to be the first time we see Elland Road with the new pitch that we've essentially borrowed from Spurs. And that can only mean good things for the performance. The last couple of times we've played at home, the pitch has been our own worst enemy. It has hampered our style of play. The fast-flowing football, you can't play that on a marsh or a bog or swamp or whatever that pitch was. So I'm excited to see I'm excited for this game. I've got a really good feeling about it. We've come off the back of an excellent win against a top 4 Leicester side, which will mean that the Leeds, the team's confidence is going to be sky high, right up there. And we're going to be chomping at the bit to get at this Everton side. That being said, even though confidence is a good thing, we did suffer quite a few serious blows in that Leicester victory. Injuries to Rodrigo, meaning that he will miss this game, and question marks over Rafinha and Bamford as to whether or not they will feature. Now, obviously, the loss of those players, arguably the best players on the pitch for Leeds, is probably going to determine how our performance kind of goes against Everton. But my kind of thought process about that is, if there's any doubt in Bielsa's head that Rafinha and Bamford, they took a little bit of a knock, they should be fit to play, but they're not sure, do we risk playing Rafinha and Bamford in this game if it's going to result in a longer term injury? I would argue that the game against Crystal Palace on the weekend is more important than the Everton game tomorrow, purely because of table positioning and I guess the winnableness of that game, if that's even a word. There is a part of me that thinks even if Rafinha and Bamford are fit to start, I would maybe rest them for this Everton game, just to make sure that they are 100% okay for Crystal Palace and for the rest of the season. Obviously, that weakens our chances against Everton. We'd be forced to field a weaker side, but maybe that's something that we need to think about and manage these games a little bit smarter. Maybe think about the long term plan, playing the long game, as it were. But that's something I would seriously consider, maybe actively resting Rafinha and Bamford, even though it means Leeds would be weaker, to protect them further on into the season. Let me know in the comments what you think about that train of thought. It's something that came into my head. Maybe I wouldn't be too unhappy to... I don't think I would be that unhappy to not see Rafinha, Bamford in the starting lineup. But that would mean that we are left with our pure championship squad. Now, we ended the Leicester game with just our championship winning this team, and they managed to put 2 goals past a top 4 Champions League chasing Leicester. So I don't think we need to be too worried and too scared. Obviously, the Everton game is 100% going to be incredibly difficult. They are going to bring it. They had a really bad result against Newcastle. Carlo Ancelotti is going to get the Everton team kind of up and ready for this game. We know they've got huge threats on the break. Their play style is quite likely going to be to sit back against Leeds. 2 banks of 4, maybe the 3 at the back with the two wing backs, and hopefully catch Leeds out on the break with pace on the wings. And they're quite likely going to let Leeds have a lot of the ball. A lot of the Everton channels saying the same thing. They fully expect Leeds to dominate possession and for Everton to potentially catch us out on the break. It's going to be a tricky game. I'm not sure whether or not Leeds will have the quality, man for man, to match Everton. We remember the last time we played them, a couple of our players had standout game of the season performances, especially from Calvin Phillips. Absolutely ran the midfield, and we're going to have to see a repeat performance from him. We're going to have to see, Cooper, Strike at the top of their game at kind of the centre back. I'm just for a second going to continue with my thought process of leaving Rafinha and Bamford out, and you would probably have to put in Tyler Roberts in a wide area and have Harrison and Roberts on the 2 wings. And then in the midfield, you're looking at Click and either kind of Shackleton or Costa. Or you can switch Roberts and Costa around. Either way, it's going to be a very makeshift team. And realistically, one that shouldn't really be able to compete with Ancelotti's Everton side and the amount of talent that they have at their disposal. Having said that, the one thing that we will always have over Everton is the willingness to run, the fitness levels. We will be able to run circles around the Everton side who at times look unmotivated, unfit, and just unwilling to, make a run or put a tackle in. A little bit of a weak mentality, I think, from the Everton side, which Leeds can exploit. It's going to be an incredibly tough game, and in all honesty, it's not a game that I see us winning if we leave out the likes of Rafinha and Bamford. I just think there's too much quality that Leeds will miss, and Everton will have a little bit too much for us. If we start them and they're fit and they're not getting injured, then I think we can compete, and I think it'll be a very close competitive game. Goals on both sides. We know Leeds love turning games into these basketball matches, end to end, high scoring, and I think we could see the same again. So I think the scoreline for this is going to be, I reckon it could be a close 3-2. Either way, I'm gonna put my money on Leeds for the victory because they are my team, and I'm always gonna bet on Leeds to come out with the result. But that's taking nothing away from Everton. They're a fantastic side. They're having a great season with Ancelotti at the helm. They are going to be one of the toughest competitors that we've faced. They're going to sit deep. They're going to try and hit us on the break, and we've got to again show we can't have any lapses in concentration. We've got to be on it from the very, very start. But if we have all of our players fit and there isn't the injury crisis going on, I think we can win this, and why not? We are going to have the confidence going into this game, and we're definitely going to outrun Everton and outpace them fitness-wise. I think a result is here for the taking, but is it worth risking Rafinha and Bamford, some of the key players, the key cogs in the Leeds United machine? Is it worth risking them, starting them for this game, if they come off injured? Let me know in the comments what your starting 11 would be for Everton, what your score predictions are going to be. Is this a game that's going to propel Leeds into the top half of the table and maybe mount a serious push for Europe? Or is it going to be a game that maybe puts us a little bit in our place and keeps us cemented in mid-table, which is still a fantastic position for a newly promoted side to be? That's going to be all from me. A very, very quick match preview of this game. Seen a lot of channels thinking it's going to be a tight one. Some confidence, some confidence from Everton fans. Some a little bit not so confident, and a couple of Leeds fans feeling pretty gung ho about this result as well. So it could go either way, but I'm going to go with a Leeds 3-2 win. That's going to be all from me. Please remember to leave a like on the video, get your comments down below, and subscribe as well. We are 100 subscribers away from hitting that 1,000 mark, and that would be amazing if we could get there. It would really show me that you guys are enjoying what I'm putting out there, and that helps me continue to do what I'm doing. That is all from me. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, stay safe.